And then Dylan will begin in a few minutes. What other questions?
What's been the most challenging part about just the transition from high school to college?
I think the biggest thing that I've noticed is really just the playbook. But I do think our coaching staff has done a really good job of kind of getting me prepared and getting ingrained into it. But I think that's just the biggest difference from level to level is just the depth and the amount of checks and things you got to know on offense, which is definitely important for an offense to have. But it's definitely a big adjustment for sure. I think that's been probably the biggest challenge so far in spring ball.
You had one of those kind of welcome to college football moments yet where the defense was a little faster or something was different that you kind of experienced?
I don't necessarily know if there's like a moment. I mean, you always hear every time you go up to the next level, whether it be like high school to college, college to the NFL, like the speed is different. And I definitely noticed that right off the bat. But I think it's been cool to kind of go through practices. And I feel like really every practice, I can kind of feel like you're starting to get ingrained into it and kind of get with the speed of the guys that have already been here. So I think that's something I've noticed for sure. But I don't know if I necessarily have like a specific moment. Yes,
What
just yet.
what aspect of the things that you're asked to do are you feeling most comfortable with right now?
I really like, we've put in a lot of RPO stuff, and I feel like that's something I've been kind of executing well during practice and that I'm comfortable with. Kind of have a background of doing that in high school as well. So, but yeah, I really like the RPO install that we put in so far this spring, and I've been comfortable with that.
What's your early impression of working with Coach Thomas and just some of the tools he's given you?
Coach Thomas has been great. Really, right off the bat, you could notice that, you know, when he got hired, I saw he was in the NFL, and you could just tell his ball knowledge is just really high. He's got a lot of experience at a lot of levels, so he knows a lot. And I feel like, you know, before I got here to now, like I'm a completely different player as far as knowledge of the game of football, and a lot of that's come from Coach Thomas. So he's been great.
You're probably used to this from high school when you were playing with guys who were older than you when you first started. But what's it like trying to lead at the position that has to lead with guys? Some guys are 22, 23 years old around you.
Yeah, you know, when you're kind of put in that position, it's kind of just something you got to do. But what I'd say is I think we have a really great group of older classmen that have kind of helped bring along some of the guys in our class and not kind of push them away, but embrace them. And I feel like they've done that with me and Dylan as well, you know, all the quarterbacks. So it's I don't think it's been as challenging as I may have expected to be, but no, we have a great group of older guys that have helped us kind of come along. So
How the two of you freshman quarterbacks help each other?
just competition. I really think, you know, I have a lot of confidence in myself. Obviously, Dylan does as well. He's a great player. So not only him, but Heinrich, all three of us, I think really do a good job of pushing each other. And I think we've all gotten a ton of reps this spring so far. So it's been good to kind of see what one guy's doing, not only learn from each other and help each other, but also compete and try to, you know, do better than the guy next to you. So.
With so much hype around Dylan, I mean, do you come in here as kind of like the underdog on under the radar mentality, or what mentality do you take heading into the spring?
I'm sure some people could look at it like that, but really I'm just worried about, you know, being the best player that I can be and competing every day. You kind of hear it, you know, there's a lot of hype around a lot of guys that came in. I'm sure some of the upperclassmen have had the same thing, but we got guys who are unranked, walk-ons, all the way to 5 stars that have played on this team, and I think that's something that, you know, it's great to have in high school, but when you get to the next level, it's just important to work hard and compete every single day, and I'm confident, you know, the best guy is always going to play. We want what's best for the team, so I don't really look at it like that. You know, me and Dylan, you know, we have a good relationship already, and really just push each other to get better every day.
What kind of opportunity is it for you guys, though, to get these kind of reps? I mean, usually freshmen coming out of high school don't get the 1s and 2 type reps right away. You guys are getting that right now.
Yeah, I think it's huge. I didn't really know what to expect as far as what reps were going to be. But kind of like first day, they were kind of putting us out there, getting a ton of reps with whether it be the 1s, the 2s, and kind of mixing it up with 1s and 2s are kind of mixed up in some groups. So I think it's been super valuable, and it's really helped us kind of progress along quicker than maybe not being able to get those types of reps. So I think it's been great so far.
These 5 practices really confirmed that you guys made the right decision in enrolling early, Daniel?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's something I've wanted to do ever since I wanted to play in college football. You know, I went to Bellevue West, and I remember kind of Jay Ducker was a guy who did that early on, and then really every year at Bellevue West kind of had people do that after. So it's something I planned on doing for a while, and I definitely made the right choice. You know, I feel like I'd definitely be a little behind if I came in the summer, so it's definitely the right decision.
What's the thing that you feel like you're doing pretty well so far, and then what's the thing where you're like, yeah, I got to catch up?
Yeah, I think like I said earlier, like the speed of the game is different, but I'm kind of proud of the way I've been able to process for the most part, especially with the type of defense that Coach White teaches with so much movement. They're not running the same coverage twice in a row average, so you really kind of got to be on your toes as far as doing that. But something I feel like I need to improve in is just kind of knowing what the defense is going to be in, pre-snap, because they do so much. It keeps us on our heels, like I said. So still got a lot to learn, but I'm proud of the way I've been able to process for the most part. So
Is there any kind of nice feeling for you to have Davon along for the ride with you? And what's it like, the dynamic among all of such a big number of early enrollees who are here this semester?
Yeah, I think it's always cool to have a guy that you know and are kind of close with already. We already have a little bit of a connection, obviously, playing at high school for 4 years. So, I think I kind of noticed it the first day. I ended up hitting on like a route to the outside. I didn't even really feel like I noticed it was him, but it just felt natural. So some of that kind of stuff is natural when you have a connection with a guy already. But overall, I feel like the day that this early enrollee group got here, we've just really had a really tight-knit group from the start. So I just really think I've gotten close to all those guys for sure.
What's your impression of just the receiving group in general that you've been able to work with?
Really talented, top to bottom. I think so many guys I've never thrown with before. Like some guys, that are on my team for the competition that I've got to kind of hook up with more is Jaden Doss is really talented. Isaiah Nair is really talented, a big target. Been loving throwing to Nate Borkature, really good big target, sure hands. So, but all around, I feel like we have a really, really great group of receivers that are going to be able to make a lot of plays for us.
You should still technically be a senior this spring. Is there anything that you're still balancing? Will you go back and walk for graduation? Is there anything that you're kind of still doing in addition to being here?
Yeah, I mean, not much I've been doing now, but I am planning on going back and walking for graduation. But yeah, really, I've just been locked in on being here and embracing everything that comes with being a college athlete. So.
You go to prom?
I'm not planning on it. No.
Anything else, Danny?
Good.
Appreciate you guys.